Good evening. What's up? Rafael Cruz from Miami Strength Club. Here today we talk about light reps or light weight, high reps, big weights, low reps, and what does that mean for you when you are, cutting or bulking or all of that. Let me start with thanking you for tuning in. Thanking you for tuning in. I need my dark lenses tonight for reading. These have my prescription, and I just need them because I don't know where my other ones are. But let me start with a quote from Albert Einstein. He said that if we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research. Let me say that again. If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research. I think that is what prompted me to talk about what I want to tonight, which is high reps with low weight versus high weight or heavy weights with lower reps for cutting or for bulking. It actually is a question that I got here also at the gym, and I wanted to address it tonight. So, with that, let's talk about what science or what exercise, science says about high reps versus low reps and lightweight versus heavyweight. Um, Pretty much for what we want to talk about, let's just say when you do low reps with high weight, you are going to increase your capacity to push heavy weights. Here's what I'm saying. I want to say this thing for two times in very simple ways. Simple for those of you who are lifters. If you know what I'm saying, if you're a lifter, you know what I'm saying. If you're not a lifter, but you know what a barbell is, I want to tell you the same thing. If you exercise with heavy weights, you will get stronger, period. Stronger means that you can do many things that you didn't think you could do, like push a car or lift your nephew more than once over your head. If you have grandkids, you could actually play with your grandkids and not break your hip or something of the sort. That's what I mean by getting strong. Now, let's go back to the beginning. Let's just say the scenario that, like most people, you want to gain muscle and lose fat. Give me a what you call that? Give me a high thing. This is for the audience in Instagram, and here's for the audience on YouTube and the other platforms. If you're on Instagram, just please give me that wave. It doesn't take you more than pressing the button. It would be nice just to know that you are actually jiving, and hey, thank you that you're actually jiving and listening, and that way I can. If you have a question, you can actually ask it right now. If you're trying to, or if you are in the process of getting muscle and also reducing your fat percentage, here is what you ought to know. When you're doing that, you are in a caloric deficit. If you are losing weight at the same time that you're putting muscle, you are for surely on a diet. You are in a diet. You are eating less than you were before because you have to lose weight. You have to drop the fat percentage. With that said, when you eat less, when you are in a caloric deficit, your body just doesn't have the same amount of energy to recover. Let me say it in a different way so that all of us can understand it. When you are in a diet, your body is just not operating with the same kind of energy and fuel. If you are in a very aggressive diet, even more so. So, If you don't have the amount of energy where your body can be ready for tomorrow's workout, if you show up today and from yesterday's workout, you are still a little bit sore and a little bit, your body is grumpy. Let's put it that way. Your body is grumpy, just because you don't feel 100% yet. So guess what? You might not be able to lift your top heavy weights, not in a safe way, or not for the long run. So what should you do strategy wise? You can drop the amount of weight that you're doing. As you can see, that makes sense, right? Because if you're not 100%, why should you lift 100%? So I guess here comes the question. If you're not lifting 100% of your weight because your body doesn't feel 100%, you don't have all the energy you had a few days ago, just because you're eating too little, because you want to drop weight. And that's a good thing, because if you want to drop weight, then you have to eat, less. You have to be in a caloric deficit. What should you do? Because you have to train. You have to train. There's no other way around it. Otherwise, you're not going to gain muscle. You may lose weight, but you're not going to gain muscle, let alone make the changes necessary so that your metabolism can begin to function optimally. And there's many people and many ideas about that, and everyone has a method and whatnot. I'm not even talking about that. I started by quoting Albert Einstein and saying, if we knew what it was that we were doing, it would not be called research. Now, there's plenty of research behind what I'm saying, and there's a few different interpretations, but I think I'm speaking middle of the downstream, common sense here. So when you start doing low reps, and I go into now the how. Here is how you can do low reps. We have already established you're in a cot. You more likely don't have the same energy as you had before, whether you are an experienced lifter or you just are beginning just because you found out what a barbell is. You're still in the same spot anyway. For you to work out every day, or at least every other day, you are going to have to do lighter weights. Lighter weights can allow you to do more reps in a specific set. Let me say it in a different way, so those of you who are, beginning this experience can understand. Let me get a bottle of water here. This is a bottle of water. I hope it's on frame. Yeah, it is on frame right now. When I started drinking a lot of water, just because I understood that it's really healthy, I would barely drink 2 or 3 of these per day. Right? Now, nowadays I drink like 5 to 7 of these per day, which is a good increase. What that means is that my body got used to drinking water. I go to the restroom with more frequency, yes, but that's also how my body got used to it. When you're lifting light reps light weights, when you're lifting light weights and high reps, your body is going to get used to it, and you can do a lot of work. A lot of work. Typically, if you are doing sets of 10, or you start doing a particular exercise and you do it 10 times, then you rest, then you come back a couple of minutes later and you do another set or another series of another 10 reps. You do let's say 5 to 6 sets or series for 10 reps. You've done 60 repetitions of lower weight. The lower weight that you're handling should allow you to do 10 repetitions, maybe even 12 or 13 or something like that. But you're doing 10 just because you want to preserve some energy and because you want the quality of your movement to be there. Movement quality is important, and you ought to have an idea what the exercise looks like, so that you're being efficient, you're being safe, and you make progress, so that you know you're not just coming up with something on your own. And if you do, well, that's great, but it has to be working for you. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. So now you know that lower reps or lower weights, now you know that lower weight with higher reps are good because you are in a caloric deficit, you're cutting. You may not have all the energy that you did before when you were eating high amounts of food or carbs or something like that. You are exercising every day, or at the very least every other day, so that you have time to recover, so your body can get used to the exercises. And just like beginning to drink more water, you will get used to that. As you get used to doing lighter weights and higher reps, few days, few weeks, couple of months, your body can actually, or you can do higher weight, bigger pounds, more pounds. Why is that? Because your body has been adapting. That's called a physiological adaptation, or just to put it mildly, or to put it simply, you've done something enough times that your body knows how to respond to that. So as you begin to add more weight, now let's just say that you have done the cut. You've been doing the for a couple of months, for a few months, and you've been doing the diet, you've dropped the weight, you actually gained more muscle, but your strength is not all the way up there. But you feel ready to tackle onto more weight and maybe the same amount of reps. You begin to increase the weight, and you start noticing that you get tired sooner. It might used to be that you got tired at the rep number 10 or number 12, but now you begin to get tired at rep number 6, maybe number 8. It's still if you're doing 10 repetitions or 10 times. Why is that? Well, if you have increased the weight, and that's what we're talking about here, lightweight versus heavy weight or heavier weight, it's because you have to push more mass, something bigger, something heavier. What that will tell your body is that you're doing something just different enough that it has to get stronger. Now, as you do heavier weights over time, important, heavier weights over time. This is not going to happen in 2 workouts. This is going to happen in 2 months. Not 2 workouts, 2 months. As you do heavier weights over the span of 2, 3, 5, 6 months, you will experience that your ability to lift heavy things increases immensely. To put it in context, if you have to pick up if you're playing with your nephew or your niece and you pick them up, well, guess what? Maybe 6 months down the road, as you have increased the weights, maybe you can pick the 2 of your niece and your nephew at the same time. If you are a little bit older and you have grandkids, maybe you can pick your grandkids up. Maybe not just one, but maybe 2 of them at a time. You know, you're 1 year old and you're, I don't know, 6 months old or something like that. Just putting real life examples there, so you get some meaning out of this, and not just technical stuff. Now, if you don't have nieces and nephews or grandkids, think about your pet. Can you pick up your 70-pound pup? Can you? Can you pick up your 30-pound pup? Or if you're not into picking your pup up, can you withstand and stand your ground as your pet pulls you when you walk your pet, when you walk your dog. Regardless of your age, if your pet is big enough, you feel some tension there created by you pulling back, your dog pulling forward, and the leash. The leash only extends so far. So at some point, you're going to feel the pull. As you get stronger, your idea of how heavy or how strong your dog is pulling is going to diminish. You're going to feel like you can do this all day, regardless of the weight or the strength of your pup. When you start getting stronger, because you have been lifting heavier weights, you'll get stronger. Now, with that context, let me tell you how. As you begin to put more weight, you've been lifting light. As you begin to put weight on the bar, you get tired in the set sooner. It's normal. So what should you do? Well, you ought to program for a warm-up, and as you warm up, you start every set, you start putting, let's say, 10 more pounds. If you're just beginning, just put 10 more pounds, 5 more pounds every set, every series as you warm up. When you get to the weight that you have selected you were going to do that day, that means that by the time you get to the gym, you already knew the weight that you were going to do, 60 pounds, 65 pounds. If you're just beginning this, if you're a guy, if you are a lady, maybe around 33, 35 pounds to 45 pounds or 50 for a squat or bench press. That sounds like, legit numbers, so you can still practice, get good technique and feel the strength challenge. If you have any question, do let me know. What you want to do is 3 to 5 sets of 5 reps. 3 to 5 sets of 5 reps. So let's just put it this way: 3 times 5 or 5 times 5 at the weight that you're working. That will give you an optimal amount of repetitions, and that will give you an optimal amount of weight from which you can improve. Let me say it in a very simple way. You don't have to get to where you're going in one jump. Let me break that down. I said earlier, when I began drinking water because I understood that's good for my health and also my performance at the gym, I could barely drink 3 of these bottles in one day. Now I drink double than that. Now, I didn't wake up one day and started drinking 6 bottles of water in one day. I had to gradually increase and make a concise effort, make a conscious effort to drink more and more and more. And my body got used to it. With weights, as you increase one workout, the next workout, or maybe every other workout, or maybe every 5 workouts, however you are progressing, you will notice that you can put more. You can put more, or you can do more. As you do more, your body is just going to put more muscle. Let me go back to that. Let me go back to why you're doing this. There's more muscle that you want to put on, and there is a decreasing of your fat percentage or weight loss. For many people, hey, let me know if you want to lose weight. If you want to lose weight, are you especially Instagram? Let me actually log into my. Give me a second, guys. Let's take a break. You can go to the restroom, go get a coffee. I actually have a tiny espresso here just to perk up. good coffee, good coffee. Let me log into my YouTube account and follow up this with live. Follow up this live here. Let's take a look at the comments. Maybe, who would know? What do I know if I have any comments on the chat? I have to put my glasses again because without them I'm blind. I lost by breaking them my pair of clear lenses. So this way I actually need to, well, guess what? Since this is a quite new channel and quite a new adventure, I do not have much audience on YouTube right now. If you like, or if you can tell a friend or a family member, or you can tune it on your smart TV, you can go to YouTube and search Miami Strength Club, and you can tune in on YouTube. That would be amazing. Once you get there, you can hit like and subscribe. It'll help the channel, and it'll help people just like you watching find this content wherever I stream it. With that said, it is 8:23. How many people are there? If you're still paying attention to this live stream, let's check it out. I'm leaning forward to read my Instagram. If you're still here, let me see what's up. I'm gonna hit wave here, everybody. Wave back, wave back. Guys, if you have written any comment or so, sometimes I don't see. Oh, so here's how it works. You waved, all right. I sometimes don't see all the comments. Thank you, Ana Banana Ramirez. Hey, what's up? NetXNell. How you doing? Thank you for joining in today. If you have any questions, just put it out there. We were taking a nice break, and let's hit right here. And make this go. All right, so let's do a recap, and then let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this one up. Lower weights, higher reps are good because it allows you to work out every day or every other day if you're just beginning. And since you are very likely doing a diet or a caloric deficit, as it's technically called, your body might be going through such a transformation that if you do heavier weights, you might not be recovered. How do you know that you're not completely recovered? Well, if you're sore to the pulp, if you can barely sit down, if you wake up to go to work and your alarm goes off and you have to snooze all the way until there's like next day, you have to snooze until it's next day. You have to snooze until next Friday. Well, guess what? Your body's just not catching up to what you're doing. There are several reasons because of this. You might not be, number one, you might be working with weights that are too heavy. Maybe you are not sleeping enough just because you don't sleep well, and that's a legit problem. I don't mean to be entertaining with that statement, but there are people that don't sleep well. I have for sometimes being stressed out enough due to life and professional engagements that I haven't slept well. And guess what? My lifting suffers just like most people do. The other aspect of why your body might not be catching up to everything you're doing is The simple fact that you're just not eating enough calories. If you're not eating enough calories, your body doesn't have the fuel to to improve at the speed that you want it. And that's natural. That is just the way it is. As you drop the amount of weight that you're lifting, you can do more reps because you don't get as tired doing the repetitions. And when you think about training, if you say, okay, you know what, for the next 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks or something like that, I'm going to lift lighter weights, what you're going to understand that you're doing is that you're going to accumulate workout over workout, week after week, month after month. Your body is going to adapt, or your body is going to get used to what you're doing. Not only is it going to get used to it, it's going to respond well because the stress or the stress of lifting heavy is not there. You're lifting lighter. The stress of lifting heavy is not there. You're lifting lighter. Not too light, for God's sake. Don't do 60 repetitions. That is not strength training, and it might not even be hypertrophic, meaning you might not be asking your body to grow efficiently if you're doing 60 repetitions for your main exercises. So with that said, I think this is simple yet nuanced or varied enough that you can get a few ideas. If you have any questions, if you liked this live stream, just tune in every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. I might go for half an hour, just like roughly tonight, or the live stream could go for as long as an hour or even more. Who knows? If you engage, it would be amazing. If you don't engage, I still do this as a matter of, with the purpose of helping those of you who tune in. Maybe I can, be helpful, and that's good enough. We also have on YouTube, this might be, I need to disclaim, this is a business, a brick and mortar business called Miami Strength Club. And I do this, it's not sponsored, but I do this here and out of my own pocket. And I'm not making a buck or anything like that. I'm not selling anything or pushing any product, especially for the YouTube audience and for the YouTube algorithm. So here we are. If you like this information, please like and subscribe. If you're on Instagram or the other platforms, put a heart, put a thumbs up, share this content so that people just like you can find this information. Thank you very much and have a pleasant night.